Face Forward Media. This is Healthcare Musings. I'm your host, Dr. Hashem Hasabala. Welcome to Healthcare Musings, everybody. Happy to have you with me. 6 years ago today, it was the depths of the COVID pandemic. We were in the midst of the first wave. So many people were sick and dying from COVID. My ICU was full at one point with ventilators. And then we had more people on BiPAP and non-invasive mechanical ventilation and other units that we were overseeing as well. It was a very difficult time. And I remember a 43-year-old patient who was breathing on BiPAP for several days. And it was becoming clear that he was starting to struggle. And so I wanted to get ahead of it and put him on a ventilator. In the beginning, they said, don't put people on ventilators, but then our thinking changed and we actually realized that after research that actually staying too long on BiPAP can also cause lung damage as well. So noticing that he was beginning to struggle a little bit, I talked to him and his family, and we decided to go ahead and electively intubate him now before it became an emergency later. And right before, I got suited up in my PPE, and right before, I snapped a picture of myself in a PPE, and I intended to post it with the caption, "You down with PPE? Yeah, you know me." It was just a brief moment of levity in a very difficult situation. I went in the room. I intubated the patient. The procedure itself went fine. And almost immediately, his heart stopped. And we did CPR. We continued to do CPR for about half an hour. When he came back, his heart started beating again, and he kind of opened his eyes. And I was hopeful. I said, okay, hopefully he's going to survive. And then soon after that, his heart stopped again, and we coded him for another half hour. And it was becoming absolutely clear that he was not going to make it. And everyone who looked at me could tell on my face that that this case affected me differently than the other cases. I mean, by that time, so many had died. In fact, during one moment, I had 8 members of one family sick with COVID in the ICU at the same time. He was not one of those people. But people can tell, and I felt it. This was different, that this death really hit me harder than all the others. And I don't know why. So I got out of the room, and at the same time, the whole hospital had gathered to clap out another patient who had survived. I'm not sure it was a COVID patient. And I wanted to join. I wanted to celebrate the few wins that we had during the pandemic. And the emotion just started welling up, and I kept trying to keep it down. And one of the nurses noticed, and she said, are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm okay. But I wasn't okay. And as soon as I opened the door to walk out to join the group of people assembled, hospital administrators, staff, everybody, I collapsed to the floor sobbing. Everyone saw me. And a couple of staff members literally helped lift me up off the floor, and my office was right outside the ICU, and so they helped me into my office and tried to console me. And all I kept saying was, "What have I done? What have I done?" I mean, I had to call his wife and tell her that he died, and she was screaming on the phone, and there's all I could do was say, "I'm sorry." I mean, that was the worst day of the pandemic for me. And that was, 6 years ago today. Soon after that, someone put a sign on my computer. It said, to this day, I don't know who did it. And the sign read, looking for it here. The sign read, "Hang in there, my friend. We're all in this together. We got this." It was done on red construction paper in marker. Like I said, to this day, I have no idea who put that on my computer. And that sign has stayed behind my computer to this day. It meant a lot to me. It's still there, faded, but still there. I think all of us caring for COVID patients needed that break, needed that time to let the emotions out. It was just too hard to keep in. For me, it happened in May. Our first patient came late March. For me, it happened in May. Others, it happened later. Others, it happened sooner. But I think that moment of letting the emotion out was absolutely necessary. It was cathartic. And I'll never forget the people who literally helped me stand on my feet and support me during that time. And that picture, it took me 5 years before I could post it. And when I did, I posted it in my patient's honor. It didn't feel right. Those were very dark days. And I'm so grateful that the virus has just become a nuisance now and a cold. But back then it was anything but a nuisance. It was killing people left and right. So I wanted to, on this day 6 years ago, reflect on that darkest moment of the pandemic for me and express gratitude that I survived the pandemic mentally. And I've continued to stay at the bedside to care for people because, there was a pull away from the bedside during the pandemic. I said to myself, I can do other things in the safety of my home. I don't have to keep doing this. And I never listened to those voices. I never heeded because the pull to the bedside for me is still so strong. I love being an agent of healing. And when I can help someone feel better physically and emotionally, it's oxygen for me. And I'm so grateful that the pandemic didn't take that away from me. Anyway, thanks so much for your time and your attention, and I'll see you next time on Healthcare Musings. Thank you for listening. Sign up at healthcaremusings.com to get every episode delivered directly to your email. And please don't forget to leave a 5-star review. Thank you so much.